Amid escalating tensions, the promise to destroy Iranian defense infrastructure is accompanied by a continuous offensive with no signs of retreat. With the Strait of Hormuz under constant attack, commercial traffic has been compromised, forcing a direct response from the United States. To regain control of the region, the U.S. Navy mobilized a powerful naval force, including aircraft carriers and escort ships, advancing rapidly toward the strait. The operation is already underway at combat pace, aircraft on patrol, missile systems ready, radars active, and constant surveillance against drones. But before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Meanwhile, on the decks and in the hangars, preparations are intense. Bombs are being transported, weapons are being installed, and fighter jets are being equipped for possible attacks on strategic Iranian targets. Everything indicates that the region is on the verge of a large-scale military operation. Air-to-air missiles were attached to the wingtips. Guided bombs were installed on pylons under the wings. Each weapon was connected, tested, and confirmed as ready. The safety pins remained in place until the aircraft was cleared for launch. The FA-18F Super Hornets, now fully armed and inspected, advanced towards the catapults. One by one, they were connected to the launch system. Their engines were revved to maximum power, and they were launched bow first by means of the steam catapults. Each fighter jet climbed rapidly and maneuvered toward Iranian airspace, carrying enough armament to engage multiple targets before returning to the ship. A group of Marines arrived at the aircraft carrier in V-22 Osprey aircraft, landing on the aft flight deck. These servicemen were assigned to reinforce the ship's security and would also be available for land-based operations if needed. They disembarked with full combat gear and were directed to the lower decks to receive their assignments. On the lower levels, the soldiers began preparing for the defense of the aircraft carrier. They quickly climbed the stairs, carrying Stinger portable anti-aircraft missiles and sniper rifles. They spread out along the ship's perimeter, took up positions behind the bulwarks and on elevated platforms, and began scanning the horizon and sky for enemy drones. Stinger's crew positioned their launchers, activated the targeting systems, and aimed in all possible directions, covering all angles of approach. Simultaneously, in another area of the ship, a team loaded ammunition belts into the Phalanx CIWS system, the ship's short-range defense system, an automated rapid-fire weapon designed to destroy missiles and drones at close range. The ammunition drum was loaded, the system was powered up, and the radar-guided turret began automatically tracking, scanning its area of operation. The CIWS was ready to engage any threat that breached the outer defenses. On the upper deck, two soldiers operated a mounted heavy machine gun. They loaded the ammunition, prepared the weapon, and fired a brief test burst over the sea. It functioned cleanly. They fired again to confirm the system was operational. Nearby, an escort cruiser sailed alongside the aircraft carrier, maintaining formation at a fixed distance. The cruiser's weapon systems were fully active, with Tomahawk cruise missiles ready for long-range attacks against Iranian targets, anti-aircraft missiles on standby, and radars operating continuously. The cruiser was there to protect the aircraft carrier, and also to provide its own firepower when the order was given. On the cruiser's deck, Marines boarded MH-60S Nighthawk helicopters. Their mission was to establish an outer security perimeter around the ship, patrolling the waters and airspace at a distance. The helicopters took off with gunners positioned at the doors and began a wide flight pattern around the vessel, monitoring small boats, drones, or any other threat. The fleet was fully armed, fully manned, and advancing at high speed toward the Strait of Hormuz. Every ship, every aircraft, Every weapon system was active and pointed at Iran. At the Combat Information Center, the team worked without interruption. Radar screens glowed in the dimly lit room. Operators monitored every moving object at sea and in the air throughout the area of operations. Surface contacts, air contacts, friendly aircraft, and unknown signals. Everything was monitored, identified, and recorded. Officers coordinated with the other ships in the formation, sharing threat data and updating the tactical scenario in real time. At flight deck level, the air boss controlled the flow of aircraft from a station with a direct line of sight to the runway. Each fighter jet that landed after completing its mission was tracked. The air boss recorded which aircraft had returned, its condition, and what it needed before returning to the air. One needed fuel, another required a full weapons reload, a third required maintenance with a hydraulic problem, demanding inspection before it could fly again. The information was transmitted instantly to the deck crews. Below deck, the work that sustains this cycle never stops. Weapons crews in the lower compartments retrieved ammunition from its storage racks, guided bombs, air-to-air missiles, rockets, and cannon ammunition. Each weapon was placed on a cart and taken to the weapons elevator. The elevator transported the material through the decks to the hangar level. From there, another team took over, moving the carts through the hangar to the aircraft elevator, which took everything to the flight deck. Upstairs, the weapons teams received the cargo, carried it to the aircraft, and began installation. This cycle operated continuously. As soon as one cargo arrived on the flight deck, the next was already being carried up the elevator. A perfectly functioning machine kept the ship in continuous operation. On the deepest levels, teams retrieved and sent out armaments. In the hangar, other groups moved and distributed them. On deck, everything was installed and prepared for use. 3 layers working in perfect synchronicity, ensuring that the fighter jets remained armed and ready without interruption, day and night. Shifts changed, but the pace never slowed. While the ship rapidly consumed its arsenal, the logistics chain continued to feed the operation from the bottom up. Each bomb dropped began its journey in dark compartments below the waterline, in the hands of invisible teams, essential for keeping the entire war machine running continuously. What do you think? Leave your opinion in the comments. Until next time.